Hi everyone and welcome back to today's video. As you can see, I have my eye makeup on but nothing else, and that is because I'm going to be trying this as primer. So I've been seeing this going around YouTube and TikTok and Instagram posts and everything, and people are using Vaseline as primer, and I thought I want to give that a go. So I thought I'd give it a go on camera for you all, and I'll come back at the end of the day and show you how the makeup's worn, etc, etc. So I have had this one a long time, so that's why this looks a bit battered, but it's perfectly fine. So I'm going to try this as primer, and I'm a little bit reticent about it, but people have been saying it does blow your pores and it works really well, so I'm going to give it a go. I've just got out a little tiny bit like that. I don't want to get out too much because it's quite a greasy feel kind of thing, so I'm just going to pop this on. Oh, that feels really weird. I don't want too much. And I am going to pop on, obviously, my foundation to show you how it lays, and my concealer and powder, so we can see how everything goes on, and blusher as well. And I'll just do everything else myself off camera, finishing face. Okay, so I'm going to see how that looks. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah. I can see. Yeah, because I do have some quite big pores on my face. And I have them on the chin and the cheeks particularly, and I have them here as well in the T-zone. And I did suffer a lot with acne when I was in my teenage years. So I think some of that scarring as well, because I'd pick my spots because I was an idiot. But you know, when you're a teen, you just don't want them on your face. You feel uncomfortable enough as it is as a teenager. It's challenging enough without that. But I did get it quite a lot. So if you can see that, my pores are actually smaller. Now I'm going to pop a picture here of how my pores look without any primer on or anything, because I forgot to show you before I did the Vaseline. But yeah, to me they are smaller. I do get on there and stuff, but I'm not sure it's picking up anyway on camera. So there may be two pictures popped here with and without the Vaseline. So this needs to stay on the face for a minute or two before you apply the foundation. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to drink this coffee for a minute or two, and I'll be back with you and I'll apply the foundation. It's had a couple of minutes to sit on my skin. I look like I've been crying my eyes out. My eyes are very water shot today, so bloodshot rather, so that'll be why. Anyway, so I'm going to use, actually I can use the viewfinder. I'm going to use this Perfection Match by Rimmel, and I'm going to apply how I usually do, and that is just about, not quite one pump on the hands, about half a pump, 3/4 of a pump kind of thing. And not there, not there. I'm kind of using it as a BB cream, because you are supposed to just do little dots on your face with a BB cream like this, and then I just work it in with my fingers. Very old school, but also I like it. And up until a couple of days or so ago, the weather has been really hot and sunny, unusually for the time of year here, unusual for end of April, early May. And now it's dull and a bit chillier again, but so, you know, this kind of application is lovely for when it's really warm, because it's not too much. I like to just, you know, make sure I'm not leaving any lines or anything. Okay, that's all blended in. And I'm now going to use my favourite Maybelline Superstay Concealer. I've not used my Revolution one pretty much since I've got this. And I have a backup because I like it that much. I'm just going to pop this on. I only pop a little bit on. I don't need too much. And I have been watching some YouTubey stuff from an older woman. It gives you some tips and tricks for maturer skin and applying makeup and things. I found someone else and she's really good. And she does the same as me. She doesn't put too much concealer on at all. And it does work better. The more concealer you have on when you've got fine lines, you know, they're going to the crease more, to be honest. But she's shown a tip as well, which I want to show you what I do. And it works for me. And I want to show it because it might work for you as well. I like to do this with my finger. I was using a foundation brush to blend it in, and I do a lot of the time, but I haven't got that out with me, so I'm just going to use the warp from my finger to blend that in. And it actually works quite well. To me, that is enough concealer, you know. I'm going to go in with this Revolution face powder. It is a baking powder, but I use it as just the usual setting powder. And I'm going to be running out of it, although it's still got quite a lot in there. It's like it's a bottomless pot. Anyway, so I'll go in with a bit of face powder, like that. A little bit on, tap off the excess. And then I'll just press it like that under the eyes. And what you're doing is you're actually pressing in the product into the creases, into your crinkles, fine lines, whatever you want to call them. And you would think that wouldn't do it any favours. And sometimes that happens and makes it look like a liar. But honestly, it does work. Do the same thing again. And just press it in. Because by pressing in the setting powder, it, you know, you get into the fine lines and it stops it creasing. As you can see, look, I've just got a funny eye there. It just does that sometimes. But look, no creases, and it stays for the whole of the day. And I'm very happy with that. Just going to pop on this. I haven't got a hell of a lot on there. I don't like too much powder. And then I'll tap it off. Always like to go under the eyes with a smaller brush. Nothing too big. I like a big puffy brush for this. And I'll just massage it in a bit like that. And I've done that for a long time. And that's how I do that. But that technique for the fine lines and wrinkles under the eyes, if you're having a struggle with your concealer creasing like that and everything, give that one a go. Give it a go. Because, you know, it's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to pop on some blusher and some highlighter. I'm trying to use up this marshmallow palette from Revolution, I Heart Revolution. So I'm trying to pan at least one completely. I've done a good job of it, as you can see, but I'd like to pan another shade as well. Blusher is extremely hard to pan because there's so much product. So I'm going in with that peachy shade Marshmallow anyway, because I really like that one. I'm just going to pop that on. I would have done this blusher trick I found out from her, but I've tested one or two and it didn't look right for me. So I'm going to give it another good test. You know, blusher placement and how to lift your face and stuff. I did one and it was bringing it right round here and all that, and I just looked like an egghead. To me, it looked like I narrowed it here and brought myself out there, and I didn't like it. Yeah, everything's layering on properly. Yeah, everything's going on really nice. There's not a problem with anything. You would think with... No, I might have over blushed now because I tend to go on and on and on with it. I'm liking a lot of blush at the minute. Apparently it's in things, so I'm on trend. Right, I've been using this, is it Catrice palette, and it is the Luminous Highlighter Bronze palette. I don't use a bronzer in here. I don't like bronzing. That one is a bronzer, but I've used that on the lid and it's gorgeous. So I'm going to use a really soft, lighter one and try and be as light-handed as possible. Don't use a brush because I also seen somebody that does it with a finger because of aging skin and stuff, and if you don't want too much of a product on, you don't want to beam to the gods. This is enough. Yeah, you're getting quite a lot of extra light pick up, so it's not working too well. You're just seeing a glare. I don't know if you can see that. I think you can now with that light off. I have this ring light on the brightest white setting, and I try the other settings and I don't like it, but I'm not really sure, so I'll have to sit here filming and just fiddle with the lighting, I think, and then just see what it looks best at, because I'm pretty sure this is a bit washed out today. I might just turn that off. Yeah, I'm going to turn that off. Right, so it's a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah, I really like it. Everything goes on really nicely. There's not an issue at all. I'm going to just take a closer look. I could do a little more highlighter, you know. I don't know what it is. I'm feeling like a little bit more. I'll probably regret this in a minute. This is quite subtle. Well, actually, saying that, I went a bit ham with it the other day and it was a bit much. It can be quite subtle if you know what you're doing. Yeah, that is subtle and I like that. I don't like too bold, brightening highlighters. It's alright. This is the time when the cloth should be there, not over there. Yes, I like that. That is a nice highlighter. Everything is settled on the skin really nicely. There's no creasing, there's no funny areas, it doesn't look greasy, it went on really nicely. It actually worked really nice and I like the way it looks. No, that light needs to be on. I like the way it looks. I like to get this light right. Maybe like that. Bit odd. I didn't leave that light on, so... Yeah, I'm looking a bit yellowy from there. We'll have to deal with it. So anyway, I'm going to finish the rest of my face off camera and get on with the rest of my day. And I will be... We'll try that again. I will be back later on today. It's probably about 6-8 hours. Maybe part of the day I will pop on and show you the face. I don't know. Anyway, I will be back later and we'll see how this looks. We'll see if it stayed on and it looks alright. Because so far, I am liking it a lot. Really a lot. I'm quite surprised because something as greasy as that. I'm quite surprised how nice it feels on the skin. It really does. So, I'm going to go and do everything I want to do, eat dinner, all that, and I will see you later. So I'm just checking in. This is 3 hours later, so I'm going to just come close up to the camera. Yeah, it's looking the same as it usually does. No changes. As you can see, look, no creasing under the eyes. Yeah, I think it's looking the same as when I applied it, really. Probably wearing a little bit around my nose, yeah it is, but that's normal for me. That's normal, it usually does that. But otherwise, there's no breaking up of the foundation, and everything so far looks alright. So I will see you again in another 3 hours or so for the final check-in. It's another 3.5 hours later, and this is how the makeup is looking. So not bad, you know, this is how my makeup looks at the end of the day anyway. So, and remember that the foundation was very lightly applied. And yeah, you can still see the highlighter, still see my blusher. As I said on the last video, that last update, that makeup wears off on my nose anyway throughout the day. It's wore off a bit more, but that's normal. And yeah, I mean, on my forehead it's really good. And like I said, it was a light application of foundation, so I'm quite happy with this. I think that's very impressive, because I was expecting it all to break up and it look awful and oily, and it just doesn't. As you can see, I don't have any creasing under the eyes, so I told you that method works. Yeah, I'm very happy with it, because when I used to do my usual concealer method, I used to get creasing, so I'm very impressed. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Very happy. I'm going to wash my face now and everything and do my evening skincare. So I'm aware this isn't the brand Vaseline, but it is petroleum jelly, which is what Vaseline is. So, all because it's not the brand, it doesn't mean it's not the same, because it is. I've had this so long. I really have had it a hell of a long time. 200 grams of product, I think it cost me about 50p. Yeah, that's how long I've had it. Maybe I need to change it up. Maybe I need to get a new one. But it seems okay. It's not changed its formula or anything. So, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm very happy with that. I'm going to use this all the time now for priming. I really am. I'm really impressed with it. I was not expecting the results I have. So, if you've tried this method yourself, let me know in the comments how it went for you, because I'm aware what works for me might not work for you. You know, we're all different. So, anyway, I'm going to watch 10 Commandments now. It's a drama based on a true crime story, so I'm looking forward to watching that. And so I'm going to go. So like I say, let me know in the comments if you've tried this method and you like it too, or you don't, or you have issues or anything. I will let you know in the description box if I have any spots or anything reoccurring from it, but as it stands, I'm really like this. I really do, and I'm going to continue with it. There's also something you can do with Vaseline by having it as a thick nightly moisturiser and then wash it off in the morning. Can't remember what I called it, but I might look into that. Anyway, so I will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Goodbye. As you can see, I do have a full face of... No, I don't have full face of makeup.